I survived 100 days of drawdown, and I'm going to show you how you can survive drawdown if you're currently in it. With this method, you'll be able to avoid blowing your account, you'll recover, break even, and then take consistent withdrawals. In this video, I'm going to share with you the mindset shift you need to get out of drawdown, the risk management strategy that you need to recover your account, and how to shift back to your normal playbook after you pass break even. By the end of this video, if you're in drawdown, you'll feel more confident about getting out of it, and you'll have a risk management strategy that you can apply right away. I'm going to explain the steps I would take to get out of drawdown. I'm going to show you a real case of a student who is in deep drawdown, not a simulation, not a back test, real money, real fear, and real emotions. So this trader is about $3,000 down in the hole. This is about a mortgage payment, and they've broken rules. They've overtraded. They've chased. They've given weeks of profit back in a few hours. And right now, they're sitting and asking themselves the same question that every trader eventually faces when they go into drawdown. And that is, how do I get out of this? Because drawdowns just don't come from bad setups. They come from identity cracks. They come from trading emotions, not edge. They come from drifting away from the plan that you made to make money in the first place. So the upside here is that there are 5 fixes. So I'm going to explain to you what this person can do. Let's start with a huge one. They had a breakthrough. And the breakthrough is that this month is the very first month out of this entire year where they are green. They have a rising equity curve and a 75% win rate. This was not by accident. This isn't luck. We've engineered month after month their system, refined it, found the best types of tickers that they trade, the best setups that they trade, and we've gotten them to a point to where they are profitable for this month. Now, let's walk through how we got there. Now, if you are in drawdown, the very first thing that you want to do is a reality check. And the reality check is this: if you have been losing day after day, week after week, month after month, and you're losing live money, then it is likely, especially if you've never had consistency, it's likely that you do not have edge or you have some execution leaks. And it doesn't make sense for you to lose any more live money. So if you look at their equity curve here, now they've been trading this account from February to November. And November is the very first profitable month. And they lost about $3,000, this including commissions. And they have taken from February to mid-March is when they lost 50% of the negative P&L, okay? So 50% of the P&L here, of that negative P&L, happened in just let's say a tenth of the time. So the bulk of the P&L was happening. They were doing the most damage when they actually should have been trading small. So if you're in drawdown and you don't have a playbook, you've never gained consistency, but you're losing, blowing up an account, have some grace on yourself, first off, because you're actually probably just gambling. You're in a state where you should be trading with small size and you shouldn't be losing a lot of money. So I put this person's stats into Excel because I like to look at Excel. So if you notice, they in February, they ended the month negative 422. Okay, they lost $400 in February. And then in March, by the end of March, they lost negative 1,000. So what you see them doing is they are rewarding themselves with more trading, but they don't have proof that they should be taking more trades, okay? So as I mentioned, half of the P&L loss went away when it happened in the first 2 months, okay? So reality check and denial. We have to take that first step. Number one is assess where you are and ask yourself, do I have a playbook that has proven edge? Do I have risk management, proper risk plan, including a drawdown playbook? Do I have proof that I can execute the trades in my playbook? And have I shown the proper mindset? If you haven't went through a process of proving this to yourself, then you shouldn't be risking a lot of money. Most people, they go into deep drawdown. If you're in the beginning stages, This video is going to address mostly beginners or people that haven't proven this. If you've already proven consistency and you're going through a drawdown period, then you may want to watch the video in the right-hand corner. It's a video that is addressing those that have proven consistency and now you're just trying to figure out how to get out of the hole. If you haven't proven consistency yet and you went into drawdown and you want to see how to recover, this video is for you. So do an assessment, and what you'll find is that there's something missing, and 90% or more, the majority of the people will be here. You don't have a proven playbook, undeniable proof. So you shouldn't be putting a lot of money at risk, okay? So what you're gonna see us do is during this period, you're gonna see, you see his equity curve flatten out, okay? Starts to flatten out. And this is because I had him reduce his risk down so that he could stop losing a lot of money. So what you'll see is in his losses were reduced. What happened here? We want to stop the bleeding. Okay. So number 2 is to stop the bleeding. What do we do immediately after we did an assessment and we figured, hey, you have playbook issues. You've never proven that you have a consistent playbook. So why put real money at risk? And then the second thing is, let's take that risk down. Let's go to sim. Couldn't get him in sim. So I just asked him to reduce the risk. And that's when you see his equity curve starts to flatten a bit. So we reduce the risk and then we reduce the amount of trades that he could take. So what you'll see is over this period for over a few months, from March over to June, you don't see such a steep equity curve relative. We're still going down. So we stop the bleeding. Now, what does that look like? His losses went from negative 1,000 for the month to negative 198. We went from a rent payment, maybe for an apartment size loss, to a phone bill, right? That's significant, okay? So April, negative 198, May, negative 173, and then June, he had a fat finger loss. But then you'll see negative 159, negative 139. So we're decreasing. So even though he's still trading and he still wants to risk that amount that he's risking, and he's paying fees, but his total net loss is decreasing. His total gross is decreasing. So he's showing progress. So if you're in drawdown right now, do an assessment and stop the bleeding. It's no need to try to struggle your way out when you haven't proven that you have edge. No need to put that money at risk. So he took the fat finger loss here, and then what happened? In this period here, it's engineering. Build playbook and trade it well. So we did a back testing exercise, and we found that he adopted a playbook that had edge, but he still had psychological issues, execution leaks. So the goal for him was to take 2 trades a day and to trade them to the best of their ability. And if we saw his losses shrinking, then he was making progress month over month. So by this time, you should be in the demo in sim or 1 share. Many people will not stop trading live, but if you're losing month over month, the best thing to do will be to stop trading live. But I understand many people won't want to do that. So in this assessment, you should have a week over week strategy session where you say, okay, are my numbers improving? Am I losing less? Am I taking the same amount of trades? And you want to look at your win percentages. Are my win percentage days growing? And also you want to look at your stats. So after rebuilding their system and starting to learn how to trade it well, there was a breaking point, a steep breaking point. Now, the 4th thing, how do we get here? After you have some consistent data, when you know what your winners are, it's time to focus on the easy money. So after you've been trading almost every day for months, you start to be able to look through your trades and find out what you trade well versus what you don't trade well, what types of symbols you trade well versus what types of symbols you don't trade well. And this was a turning point, which you can't see the gravity of this yet because his risk is so low compared to the previous periods. But if you look at month over month, he went from 151, 150, 112, 270, negative 94, negative 94, negative 91. So his losses are becoming smaller. And then he jumps down from negative 91 to negative 18. He has a much better month than he did. It's an 80% improvement. Okay, so now he's starting to see the turn. And this is negative here because of execution errors, jumping in some invented trades. Most of the time spent here, number 3 gave birth to number 4, where he eventually is now up $12 with 75% winning days. And I told him to celebrate. Why? Because drawdown is not a setback. It's a revelation. It shows you exactly who you are so that you can make a choice. You can choose to become different. So he was sitting in drawdown. He slowed down. He came to me. He collected himself and he decided to become disciplined. He decided to stop the bleeding. He decided to work month after month with small size on building his playbook, even though he could have went to sim, but he didn't want to. But he could have lost less money if he chose to go to sim. But I said, look, the month of November was done based off of hard work, following his plan. And even there was execution leaks here where he could have taken more money off the table. When we looked at the trades so far in November, he could be up $25. He's at 12 right now, positive 12. And this is off of small risk, same risk that he's been given when he was losing when he's doing the $100 days, negative 110, negative 91. Okay. So he could have been up even more, but he's still working on some execution things, but he's dialed in on the playbook a lot more and a lot better. So this dip even here, he was in profit, gave some things back, and he just dialed in 2 tickers a day, 2 trades a day. So I did an assessment for him. I'm going to get into the last piece of this, where I showed him that if he would have been risking the same amount, now this is going to get us into step number 5. Once you have that easy money down, you have execution down, you're going to develop a comeback plan. And the comeback plan is going to be designed to scale, comeback scaling. So you're going to gradually scale up that risk and reward yourself for consistency. Same process, same trades, same easy money. So I ran a simulation to show him that if he was risking the same amount that he was risking back here within this small period of time, he would have recovered almost 50%. So it sort of shows you how with the power of consistency and scale, you can come out of drawdown a lot faster than you think, because trading is not a linear game. So if you want to understand how to stop the bleeding and find a structured way to chop down your losses as you go into drawdown, click the link to the right.